Hey everyone, as people may know, I am a huge Jaws fan, as evidenced by this poster. So, I wanted to put together a video about the atrocity that Governor DeSantis of Florida did to some poor migrants from Venezuela that were just trying to come to the United States for asylum. And he decided to dump them a block away from the location where they shot Jaws and Jaws 2. I'll show you some details and how tragic and frankly stupid of an act this was. So this is where the location for Jaws and Jaws 2 are. This is Main Street. Roy Scheider's Brody goes around the corner and goes down. And up here is St. Andrew's Church, where the migrants were, where Governor DeSantis dumped them. And Brody keeps going down the street where the bank is, and this is exactly where Jeffrey Kramer, as Deputy Hendricks, says that the beaches are going to be closed, and he asks, "What's the matter with my printing?" And he says back, Brody says, "Let Polly do the printing."
Take this stuff back to the office and get to work on those signs. All right. Beach is closed. No swimming. By order of the Amity PD. And let Polly do the printing.
What's the matter with Martha?
Let Polly do the printing.
These locals, who are very nice people, I love the people of MV, were helping out with food. Some are from local restaurants. And this is the street, Main Street, where Brody is going down. And over here is a overgrown bush. And alongside is a fence. And you can see that in this clip for Jaws 2, which is just kind of sadly amazing that this location has now a very strange stain for some other event. A lot of kids were there, and somebody was kind enough to give this little girl a Bruce toy plushie from the movie. So they have plenty of stores there for Jaws nostalgia and merchandise, but it was very sweet that somebody helped her out with that.
Dozens of undocumented immigrants, mostly from Venezuela, flown into Martha's Vineyard.
Some of these people, I've been told, traveled months just to get to the border. And then were sent here in an airplane with very little information about where they're going or why they were going there.
Officials say 2 chartered planes landed on the island with about 50 people, including children, at around 3 p.m.
It's manipulating people who are in very dire circumstances, purely for political gain.
They were told there was a surprise present for them and that there would be jobs and housing awaiting for them when they arrived. This was obviously a sadistic lie. Not only did those responsible for this stunt know that there was no housing and no employment awaiting the migrants, they also very intentionally chose not to call ahead to any single office authority on Martha's Vineyard so that even the most basic human needs arrangements could be made. Ensuring that no help awaited the migrants at all was the entire point. They were provided with a cartoonishly simple map of Martha's Vineyard and the United States and a brief brochure containing snippets from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts website and instructions to change their address with USCIS when they relocated. This is especially troubling as anyone with even the most basic understanding of the immigration proceedings knows that USCIS was not the agency with whom the migrants would have to record their addresses and has nothing to do with their cases in any way. It is clear that this was an intentional attempt to ensure that these migrants were removed in absentia when they failed to change their address with the proper agency. This was a purposeful derailment designed to prevent people from complying with federal immigration policies. This is problematic because the state should not be interfering with federal immigration policy. Before they boarded the planes, the migrants were processed by agents of the Department of Homeland Security, who listed falsified addresses on the migrants' paperwork. Agents apparently chose random homeless shelters all across the country, from Washington to Florida, to list the migrants' mailing addresses, even when told by the migrants that they had no address in the U.S. According to the paperwork provided to them, the migrants are required to check in with ICE office nearest to the fake address chosen for them by DHS or be permanently removed from the United States, with some required to check in as early as this coming Monday. It could not be clearer that this is an attempt to ensure that these people are ordered removed, even as they try as hard as they can to comply with the instructions provided to them. There is no other reason to list as someone's mailing address a homeless shelter in Tacoma, Washington, when they ship him to Massachusetts. If the intention of those who perpetrated this horrendous act was to create a crisis, you have failed. Their demeanor is kind, their demeanor is grateful, and their demeanor is just that they want to be doing everything right. Their biggest concern today is that many of them have dates to appear in San Antonio Monday morning, Tacoma, Washington, Monday morning, Washington, D.C., Monday morning. You tell me how that's possible.
We will be exploring all civil and criminal legal options to hold the perpetrators accountable.